Kate Holland checks in for the Sandites. Probably charged to Sandy Springs Marcus Blue. The second team's 10 minutes. Corey Gunn and Quandre Bell checking for Union. Probably charged to Union's Kenneth Dorsey, his fourth. That's the ball game. Sand Springs defeats Union 42-37. Coming up in about 20 minutes, it's varsity girls action. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Union Red Hawk basketball here inside the John Q. Hammonds Arena on the campus of Union High School, as it's game number 1 tonight of our 2-game broadcast, and a special night here as Union Athletics is celebrating National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network. He's Casey Jordan. I'm Jim Douthit. And Casey, tonight, I want to start by talking a little bit about the matchup that we've got. Sand Springs comes in tonight with the same record as Union at 12-3, but in the last 4 games, these teams have trended entirely differently in different directions. And I want to start with Sand Springs. They're losers of the last 3 out of 4 games. And so what are we expecting tonight?
You know, Sand Springs is going to want to come out and reverse that trend. So they're going to come out and try to hit their offense how they want to hit it, and then get the ball moving back towards their side of what they want, which is the winner's column. So, you know, you can expect them to come out and maybe try some things different, see some new things, just to try to get that momentum switched to the other side.
Now we've got to talk a little bit about who they've lost to. Sand Springs has lost to Edmond, or excuse me, they have lost to. Goodness, as I look through this.
You were right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They had lost to Edmond North. They had lost to Bixby and Sapulpa with winners, and they beat Putnam City. We know how that feels. We've lost to Edmond North, too, number 1 team in the state. Those ladies down there are killing everybody. So if you take that loss out, because we've lost to Edmond North and so have they, you know, for the most part, these teams are identical.
Yeah, I mean, if you look even at the scores, I mean, it's only a 4-point difference for how they lost. So, you know, if you just go by off the scoreboard, it looks like it should be a very good game.
So Union comes in. Defense has been stingy. They've allowed in the last 4 games only 32 points, and that's after giving up 44 to an Edmond North squad. So Coach Redmond, we've seen it, super stingy defense. Not always the funnest to watch, but it definitely wins games all the time.
Yeah, you know, it might not be some people's cups of tea, but I really enjoy how they play defense. I mean, if they come out, they're right in your face. You know, they very good on and off the ball. They switch under screens. They don't let their man, well, technically, they don't let their woman get around them. So it's good to see that from their end. And, you know, I enjoy great defense. So, you know, if Union keeps that trend, it should be a very good season for them moving forward.
We talk about it before. We'll talk about it real quick. We got to get Sydney Smith involved underneath early on.
Correct. You know, just from eye appeal, you know, Sydney has height and probably power advantage. So getting her down low and allowing her to really control the block is something that, you know, we point to at every game. We want to see her build up her confidence early, because when you have a confident Sydney controlling the block, you know, it's one of those areas that as an offensive player you don't want to get into, because she will make your night a very long night if you allow her to get her confidence up.
Yeah, and so for Coach Barry and his Lady Sandites, they're going to have 2 over 6 foot. They've got a junior in Hallie Jackson at 6 foot, and then a senior in Lane Kirkendall at 6'2". And matchup-wise, if you look at both heights, they're basically the same teams, not only in record but on paper as well. So that's what we've got coming up. It's the starting lineups and the national anthem, and we'll be back with the tip-off of the Red Hawks and the Sandites right here on the Union Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the John Q. Hammonds Arena on the campus of Union High School for tonight's matchup between the Sand Springs Lady Sandites and your Union Red Hawks. At this time, we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave, home of the brave.
First, let's meet the visitors, the Sand Springs Lady Sandites. At 5'9", a senior number 1, Journey Armstead. At 5'5", a sophomore number 2, Sakari Wilson. At 5'6", a sophomore number 3, Yanni Morris. At 6 foot, a junior number 4, Haley Jackson. And at 6'2", a senior number 21, Lane Kirkendall. Head coach of the Sandites is Joshua Berry, assisted by Brad Malum, Jordan Evans, and Ray Willis Jr. And now for the starting lineup for your Union Redhawks. First, our ball girls tonight. Adoria Pizzana, London Cormier, Damai Daniels, Rayana Delosier, Samari Wilson, Brooklyn Jones, Aria Andrus, and Jayla Spencer. At 6'1", a senior number 0, TK Pitts. At 5'3", a senior number 11, Desiree Marshall Penny. At 5'10", a senior number 14, Mackenzie Malum. At 6 foot, a junior number 21, Aubrey Highshaw. And at 6'2", a senior number 33, Sydney Smith. Head coach of the Redhawks is Joe Redmond, assisted by Sean Davis, Joe Davis, and Amari Dennis.
Well, folks, good evening and welcome back in here to the John Q. Hammonds Arena on the campus of Union High School. He's Casey Jordan. I'm Jim Douthit. Want to send a special shout out to Andy Bees. Appreciate them sponsoring basketball here tonight. At Andy Bees, we would love you to bowl social. It's Andy Bees. Look at us getting.
Yeah, that's we're moving up in the world.
Yeah, I know, and I think it's you. They want to watch these girls. They want to listen to Casey Jordan. So as we get underway, as we mentioned in the open, both teams coming in with identical records, though both teams trending in opposite directions. Sandites are losers of the last 3 of their last 4, and Union winners of their last 3 out of 4. As we're underway, Wilson control it up top. She looks, surveys the court, tries to drive, kicks it back out. Armstead puts it on the floor. She'll get it inside to Jackson. Jackson, nice move, gets it up, can't get it to go. Rebound, Malum.
That didn't go in, but that was a really nice series there for Sand Springs and a really good move down there in the block.
And even though Malum came down with that ball, it was Smith that got her hand on it and got it tipped to her. Now they get it to Smith, can't get it to go. Rebound, Highshaw. We expect that all the time, and there's a jump ball. And that's just Aubrey Highshaw doing.
There was a young lady that was a senior last year for Union that graduated that both of them have a very similar game, and Nelson.
Yes.
Remember her?
Yes, absolutely.
She was identical to how Aubrey Highshaw plays, and both of them are the type of players that you'll have 3 or 4 in your squad every year if you can take them.
Yep. Now Highshaw. Up high, Marshall Penny takes, stops, drops. Can't get it to go. Rebound. Armstead will come away with it. Ball not friendly for either side right now. Now the drive. Can't get it to go. Rebound. That's going to be tipped out of bounds. Awarded back to Sand Springs. Coach Redmond yelling about something. I'm not 100% sure what he's happy about.
Yeah, Kirkendall
Oh,
got kind of.
I think maybe because we're missing some lights. As I look here, some of the lights didn't come back on. I'm not too sure if that's what he's talking about, but it does look a little darker on that side.
Did none of these girls grow up with a hoop out in the street? Sometimes you don't have a light. You just have to play.
I think we need to turn the light on above the goal, one of those
let's
deals.
Go back to the nights where you came back in when the street lights came on.
That's it. For 3, misses. Rebound. Malum got up. Mackenzie Malum with up ahead to Highshaw, and that's going to be tipped out.
Don't let the braids fool you. She's got ups.
Maybe it's the braids that are giving her the extra 1.5 inches or 2 inches there.
Look, most people know soccer players for their endurance, but they're also some explosive athletes, so don't ever count on Mackenzie for whenever it comes to athletes. She's a supreme one, so there's probably not much she can't do.
Now Wilson will control it up top again. She'll be the one that kind of quarterbacks it tonight, it looks like, for the Sandites. Turnaround jumper. Can't get it to go. Nice little spin move by Jackson, but she can't get it to fall. And again, Malum coming away with another rebound. She gets it back. She'll bring it up. Quickly goes to work and then slows it down. Back, drives baseline. It's going to lose it out of bounds. Last touch by, looks like Wilson. So it's going to be awarded back to Union.
I don't know if something happened over the weekend, but Mackenzie looks like she's kind of on a mission tonight. She's ready to destroy something.
Now TK, little jumper, won't go. Foul will be charged to probably Armstead. Yep. So Journey Armstead, the 5'9" senior out of Sand Springs for Coach Barry. Be charged with her first foul. TK Pitts will go to line. And Pitts gets the first basket and bucket of the evening for either team. Can't get it to go. Rebound there, Kirkendall. It'll be interesting to see the matchup between Kirkendall as the drive and the foul. Be charged to, actually going to be charged to TK. So it'll be interesting, Casey, to see tonight how Kirkendall and Smith go at each other. Both similar, both seniors, both 6'2", both big bodies for their team.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of might be the story. You know, the story going forward is who's going to have the bigger presence, because typically whenever you're big is having that type of night on your end. 9 times out of 10, your team is coming through because they're doing a lot of the things that you don't see on paper as far as clearing out lanes, you know,
Tipping the ball to somebody to get a rebound like that.
Correct.
Yeah. So there's Pitts up ahead. She drives, and there's a block. Kirkendall showing off her 6'2" wingspan for sure. That's something Pitts is going to have to get used to, because when she travels down and plays a little ball in SMU, there's not a lot of short girls that play in that conference.
No, she's not going to be the big fish in a little pond anymore.
Yep. Now Morris up ahead, and she'll get charged with the travel.
I feel like she'll handle it pretty well, though.
Yeah, I think she's going to be just fine. As the aforementioned Pitts is right here in front of us. Pitts to Malum. How many times have I said that over the course of the last 2 years?
Probably.
We had a dime, right?
I'd rather have $1. Not trying to be greedy,
Yeah.
but
Last touch by Sand Springs. And early on, what do you like that you're seeing out of Union? Anything?
they seem to be playing with more speed than typical. You know, they're not necessarily kind of sitting back and running their prototypical offense that they like. They look like they're flying around on both sides of the ball. So, you know, if ball starts going in, it could easily turn into a 12-4 game very quickly.
So Jackson comes away with the bucket, and Sand Springs is up 4-1. Marshall Penny brought it down, gave it to Pitts, back to Malum. Malum will set it up, and I feel like, with respect to what Coach Redmond talks about and coaches, I'd rather see these girls set it up than trying to get in a run game with people.
Yeah, that's not typically their game. I mean, in my opinion, there's only a few teams that we've seen in person that run offense as efficient as they do. So when they're doing what they can, moving the ball like they are right now,
Like
really
that.
trying to get Sand Springs flowing left to right, they can get that thrown in really easy to both Sydney and Aubrey. So good possession there by them.
Yeah. Highshaw will go to the line and shoot 2, and that was a good possession. And that's what I think, that's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see. Of course, I want to see him make the free throws too, but. Highshaw makes 1 of 2, it's 4-2. Sand Springs quickly up ahead. Inside, Highshaw reaches in. She's going to get charged with a foul. And it looks like Sand Springs has got something similar. They're going to want to get their big girl in Kirkendall going early, just like we want to get Smith involved in our offense.
Yeah, both
Turnaround jumper.
Both teams are definitely trying to work inside out, which, you know, there could be some scheme fits that they see there. You know, maybe an advantage as far as Sand Spring goes. You know, they look at tape and they know if they can get Sydney frustrated, she can almost take herself out of the game pretty quickly. So it looks like they're trying to go at her and bring Aubrey in to try to get some of that backside help to get some of those cheap fouls.
So Union will take a timeout after the ball from Malum goes right through Highshaw's hand. We'll take a timeout as well. Hey, we're brought to you by Andy B's Bowl Social. It's Union basketball right here on the Union Sports Network. Back live, Sandites up 6-2. We're just underway here in the first quarter, 3:30 remaining. He's Casey Jordan, I'm Jim Douthit. Thanks for joining us here on the Union Sports Network. Quite a game tonight. Both teams coming in at 12-3. But right now it's all Sand Springs as Armstead gets it knocked away right to Kirkendall, back to Armstead. Armstead will get it near side to Wilson. Now Wilson will bring it back up top and set it back up. Patience for the Sandites is ever so apparent right now, Casey. Drive.
Sydney's kind of arguing that one a little bit, but I think it was all ball, which is what she was arguing. But
Yeah, and I don't think there was a foul charged on her. Nope, no foul charged at all.
Okay.
Ball was tipped out of bounds.
Okay.
Last touch by us, which was Sydney Smith. And right there, something I like to see in Sydney is she's barking some orders to Malum. And just like that, it's the things that Sydney's got to understand the kind of game that she can play. And if she's not hitting a jumper, she needs to control it defensively. And just like that, telling her teammates what she's seeing behind them is perfect.
No, there's a lot of things that go way beyond the stat sheet that she provides, just like exactly what you were saying. The senior presence, knowing, you know, helping make sure everybody knows where she's at, and
There,
she just
just like
cleans
that.
up a rebound and gets 2 points. So
Not a great shot selection by Highshaw, but Smith there to help her clean it up. Pitts looked for the steal, couldn't get it. And quickly at 6'4", Kirkendall, turnaround jumper, can't get it to go. And I think Sydney Smith will get charged with a foul. I think she went straight up. Good battle. And that's going to be a battle all night, Casey.
Yeah, there's not really much more that she could have done right there. You would like to see her kind of square her body up a little bit more. She was kind of not necessarily leaning to the left, but she wasn't quite square. So you square your body up and you go straight up. You know, you give yourself more of a chance to not get that foul called. But whenever your body's turned and you are playing more of a defensive role when you're jumping up, for the most part, they'll typically call that on you every time.
Haley Jackson checks back in for the Sandites. Morris has a seat for Coach Barry. And you're right, there's a scowl almost on Malum's face.
Yeah, typically by now, I mean, I know, they're only down by 4. There's plenty of game left. Maybe she's not happy with how they're playing, but she typically has a smile or two by now, and right now she looks
more focused.
I'm going to go with ticked off, since we can't say the other one. Go with ticked off.
Yeah, little miffed, if you will.
Yes.
So TK Pitts is going to have a seat. She's already got 2 fouls. Jemiah Woodard will check in. Jemiah had a phenomenal game for JV earlier. Played really, really well, and the JV girls went on to beat Sand Springs earlier by 4 or 5. And Woodard comes out and gets a rebound up ahead to Smith. Smith will pull it down. She needs some help. Woodard comes out and helps her out. Marshall Penny to Woodard's left. Now Malum sets it up. She'll throw up the deuces, get a little, direct some traffic. Gets it inside to Smith. Smith right to the hole. Nice layup.
Ooh.
Nice first step.
No, that was very, very decisive with her step, and she had a lot of power whenever she turned that corner, and that's the Sydney Smith you want to see. When she's doing that, you can't, you can't stop that.
Turnover. Away is Malum. Malum's got 1-on-2. She'll stop, get it off the glass, and good. And this game is tied at 8. Now back up ahead is Wilson. And Highshaw will go right into her. Go hard into her. And Highshaw right over there to help her out. Boy, she hit her hard.
Yeah.
She hit her hard. Highshaw kind of got caught in no man's land as well, I think, jumping up there. So.
Yeah, you don't want to see a foul that hard, but you could tell that, I'm not trying to sound like a homer by any means, but you could tell that was not blatant.
Right.
Exactly, because she went right over there and tried to help her up, make sure she was okay. So
Highshaw will have a seat, yep.
If it was blatant, you don't do that. You turn around.
You turn around, walk off. Pitts will check back in. Highshaw will have a seat. Knotted at 8 here. Wilson up high to Kirkendall. Now Kirkendall switch it to Morris. Back inside Armstead. Back inside to Jackson. My apologies. Rebound Smith. Tracking the ball good is Sydney. Now Malum with 14 ticks left. Malum to Woodard. Woodard inside to Smith. Puts it on the floor to Marshall Penny. Up to Malum. There's 5 seconds. Malum looks for the screen. Woodard gets it, shoot it. If it goes, it's good, but it doesn't go. Good possession there, though.
No, it was. I really liked the ball movement. They didn't just settle for any type of shot. And even that last one, Woodard had plenty of time before she shot it. So she looked like she was kind of waiting for one more pass and nothing really opened, and then she took the shot. So I like that they didn't rush it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I like the fact that they didn't feel like they only had 5 seconds because they really had plenty of time to run a play. So we'll be back. Second quarter coming up right after this. Back live here. He's Casey Jordan. I'm Jim Douthit. You're joining us on the Union Sports Network. We appreciate it tonight, as I know a lot of folks out there listen, especially the ones that are listening around the state of Oklahoma, are preparing for this huge winter storm that's coming in.
Yeah, definitely be safe out there. That's going to get kind of bad.
It's going to get bad. You and the wife got to run down to Oklahoma City, so I want you being safe tomorrow as well.
We will.
As a couple of poor passing on both sides of the court leads to no points, and we're still knotted at 8. Now Morris, nice drive. Pitts, I think, got a partially tipped that ball, and Malum will come away quickly. Boy, and you're right, and there's something about Malum's play tonight.
Yeah,
Up high to Smith, over to Pitts.
She looks different compared to how she typically looks. So, you know, that's one of those things that we don't typically see. So, you know, it's one of those that you walk away going, you don't want to make her mad.
Malum misses it there. That was a good look, good ball, good possession.
She barely missed it, which,
Right.
I mean, a miss is a miss, but if you want to take anything good away from it, it was barely missed.
Marshall Penny with the quick hands. It'll be tipped out of bounds, and Sand Springs will get the ball back.
Both teams are playing pretty physical right now, which is, you know, I don't know, maybe if that's what's causing some of the frustration on both sides right now, but they, you know, you don't typically see this type of physicality.
Well, and we talked about it in the opening, the fact that both teams are, I mean, on paper, they're identical, records and everything. Big 3 ball there. Can't get it to go. Rebound. Pitts will come away with that as a friendly bounce. Gets it to TK, and McKenzie will bring it up. Kyron Taylor had checked in for Coach Berry. And the aforementioned Taylor almost came away with a steal.
Yeah, McKenzie was throwing it to Woodard, and she just wasn't even, you know, she was getting ready to try to maybe run behind the screen there and had no idea that the ball was even coming to her.
Now Malum will set it up. Coach Redmond barking some orders. Malum inside to Pitts, and good. Now, Coach Berry's not happy about that, but Wilson could have won an Emmy for that, or a Grammy, or whatever the Actors Guild Award, maybe. No? You're gonna disagree?
No,
okay, all right.
No, I'm not disagreeing. Just don't know what award to call it.
And Coach Berry will have a conversation. There's a timeout on the floor. Union up by 2. We're back. Back live, 6:01 remaining here in the second. 10-8 the score. If you're just joining us, what Casey and I have been talking about, Casey, is the fact that, you know, 10-8, it's a low-scoring game. Both teams are very, very equal right now, and I think it's beginning to frustrate both teams just a little bit.
Yeah.
So for Union, what do they need to do?
You know,
And there's a steal. Not let that happen. Up ahead, laid it up and in, and Jackson with 2. So what needs to happen for Union?
you know, they don't need to get frustrated. You know, they need to keep playing the game that they want to play. But you got to give Sand Springs credit. They're playing really physical right now, and they are not, you know, they're not allowing Union to just push them around. They're getting up in their face. They're getting pretty handsy with their, you know, they're not getting called, which is good for them, but they're getting pretty physical. So you want to see Union kind of try to start matching that physicality.
Smith is going to get charged with the walk. What I also want to talk about is, and I talked about it a minute ago, with Smith barking some orders to Malum earlier in the defensive zone. What you saw down here was Pitts and Smith yelling at the freshman and Woodard as to where they wanted her to go. So very active on both sides of the floor, the seniors tonight. And there's Smith again telling Woodard what to do. Now inside. Taylor will kick it back out to Armstead. Armstead will point. Try to get the screen set by Jackson. She'll shoot three, can't get it to go, and it's way off. And that's going to get kicked last by TK Pitts, and it'll be Sand Springs ball. So Kirkendall will check back in. Taylor will check out. Coach Barry will bark some orders from the sidelines. The way this game's going right now, I'd be surprised. Nice move, can't get it to go though, and a foul. Marshall Penny will get charged with a foul. First foul for Marshall Penny, 6 team fouls now. And for the physical play, Casey, Sand Springs has only got 2 team fouls so far.
Yeah, and some of that, Sakari Wilson for Sand Springs is deceivingly fast. When she plants her foot in, because she's not the biggest girl out there by any means, but when she plants her foot and gets going downhill, she can move very quickly. So it causes a lot of, backside help, which, typically whenever you're having to bring people in on the backside, you're going to get some of those fouls you don't typically want.
Now Smith inside, which she made easy work of that, as she had Armstead and Kirkendall in her face at one point.
No, it's easier said than done, but right now she's kind of controlling it down there, so you need to keep feeding her.
All the time. Nice pass there. Tries to get it inside. Tipped by Smith. And Highshaw with the hustle. She'll crash over some chairs and out of bounds. I said Highshaw, excuse me. Woodard with the hustle. Armstead will get it back inside to Kirkendall. She'll go to work on Smith. Turnaround jumper, can't get it to go. And the rebound by Malum, but again, tipped by Smith.
Good defense there. I mean, she went straight up. She, one thing that, like we said a couple times about her, some of the things that she can do that you don't see in a stat sheet is, she made her presence known, which caused a hard shot to go in, and it's that type of play from Sydney that if you could get that out of her night in and night out,
This team would be able to play with the Edmond Norths of the world. For sure. Now, Woodard controls it inside to Smith. She'll go to work again. She puts it back on the floor, back out to Woodard. Quickly inside to Malin, and there's a big foul. Armstead will get charged for the foul.
Yeah, she's arguing 3 seconds in the lane, but when you two-hand shove someone like that, you're not going to win that argument.
Yep. So they'll get it into Smith. Smith up high to Marshall Penny. There's a foul off the ball.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Sand Springs they're kind of handsy. They're doing a lot of backside holding, which you typically do that where the ref can't see it. You're holding so that they can't necessarily draw that attention, and they've been doing that quite a bit tonight. And those last 2 fouls are a prime example of what they've been doing.
Now Pitts puts it down. Malum gets the ball and she'll control it. And Wilson, second time tonight, vying for another Academy Award. And that time, I don't know. Pitts has got his feet set.
No,
and that's the 3rd foul on TK.
No, she deserves an Emmy for that one. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, I can't agree with that call at all.
Keep my mouth shut on that one.
Well, when your defenseman is standing flat-footed, and Barry gets Wilson does that.
When you flow your head back like that and fall down to the ground, clearly that wasn't a foul.
So with Pitts now on the bench with 3 fouls, Sydney Smith brings it down. Marshall Penny and Malum.
Things you don't want to see for 200. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but
Malum for 3 off. Can't get it to go.
that came out way worse than I meant it.
No, I think people that know us know exactly what you meant by that. There's the 3. Wilson can't get it to go, and rebound Malum again. Up ahead, running the floor is Highshaw. And Wilson is going to get charged with the foul. Can't blame Wilson on that, man. She was hustling down the
Wow.
floor. That's hustle all the way.
Like I said earlier, she's deceivingly quick. She can, she might only be 5'5", but she can make up a lot of ground very quickly.
Very quickly. There's one. Oh, Casey.
That's right. I'm a little disappointed it's taken this long.
Vanessa Coleman checks in.
I mean, Coach Redmond, I know you know way more than I do, but we'd probably be up by 10 by now if you put her in the first
Jemiah
quarter.
Woodard checks out. And Vanessa Coleman's in. So on the floor, it's Malum, Smith, Highshaw, Penny, and Coleman. As Pitts has got 3, and she's on the bench. Long 3 ball there. Can't get it to go. Tipped out of bounds. Nice hustle there by Highshaw to tip it out. She wasn't going to get the rebound, but she was able to tip it out.
No, those are the little things that you can try to teach them, but some kids just don't want to do it. And Highshaw's one of those. She will gladly do the dirty stuff that you don't typically want to get out of some players that, I don't mean dirty in the sense of bad, in the sense of she does the little things that you just, kind of like cleaning your house. There's certain parts of the house you don't want to clean.
And she's going to do it. Timeout. I believe Sydney got a,
Yeah, she got elbowed pretty hard.
yeah, she got it right in the face. So she's going to have a seat. Woodard will check back in. So a look that we haven't seen in quite a while for Coach Redmond. And the ball's stolen. Up ahead is Walker. Walker to Armstead. Armstead far side. And a quick transition with Jackson.
Yeah, there was no backside help on that one, and Sand Springs made that look really easy.
Now Coleman gets it underneath. She'll drive up against the 6'2 Kirkendall frame. And Armstead still wanting the push off.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. You can have a conversation with the ref and say some things, but the walking off and shaking your head, that's not going to go a long ways.
With most officials,
Yes.
right. So Smith will check back in. Woodard will have a seat. 48 seconds left here in the first half. Now Marshall Penny, far side to Malum. Marshall Penny will come out and give her some help. She surveys the floor and gets it to Smith. Smith back to Malum. Sees Coleman in the corner here. Would like to see her shoot the 3 there. Marshall Penny will, and it's good! Marshall Penny extends the lead to 4 with that 3.
Yeah, and she's starting to get a little bit of her confidence back from behind the arc, which is a beautiful thing to see.
Now Armstead with 10 seconds remaining. They're going to go for the last shot. One step, drop, stop. Back it up, can't get it to go. Rebound, Smith. Good final defensive possession for Union for sure.
Yeah, and one thing that a conversation is going to have to be had with Coach Redmond at halftime is Sand Springs is doing a very good job of playing out the shots in the sense of every time they throw up a shot, they're falling down. So you got to be very careful about how you're going up. You want to go square that body up and go direct on them so you're not getting a foul called on you that shouldn't be there.
17-13, Union on top. Hey, this broadcast brought to you by Andy B's right here in Tulsa. Thanks for joining us. Second half action coming up after this.
competitions coming up in the next month. And tonight, you will see their jazz routine. Officers for the High Steppers are Lieutenants Grace Estep and Isis Bridges, Co-Captain Taiwana Lark, and Captain Berinda Terrazas. High Steppers are under the direction of Christy Posey, Sterling Scheidler, and Ashley Mathis. Once again, your Union Varsity High Steppers.
Give me what I want, and I give you what you need. Don't play with my emotions, baby. I'm another ring. Don't wanna lose this feeling, so don't burn it out. I wanna keep on living in the moment now. I'm pulling you tight, and I might not let you leave. So give me your devotion in the night. I'll set you free. Don't wanna lose control until the lights go out. Just me and you. Let's get into the moment now. Here in your arms, I could go all night. Here in your arms, I could spend my whole life. Here in your arms, I could go all night. Give me love and I might just keep on dancing, 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 just keep on dancing, dancing, Giving you my heart, and you finally made me see. Between every misfortune, there's fortune in between. Don't wanna lose these feelings, so don't burn it out. I wanna keep on living in the moment now. I'm ready for your love, don't hold it back on me. Just give me your emotion, baby, that's all that I need. I wanna lose control until the lights go out. Just me and you, let's get into the moment now. Here in your arms, I could go all night. Here in your arms, I could spend my whole life. Here in your arms, I could go all night. Give me love and I might just keep on. Don't stop giving me your devotion. Don't stop giving me all your heart. Don't stop giving me your devotion. Don't stop giving me all your heart. Dancing, 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 keep on dancing. Just keep on dancing.
Please welcome Union Varsity Palm and their Youth Night dancers. These kindergarten through 7th graders will perform a dance they learned last night. Please welcome these future Palm girls.
Party in the evening, baby. I wanna party. I want a song. I wanna party. I
Welcome back live here to the John Q. Hammonds Arena on the campus of Union High School here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as we get ready to start the second half between the Sand Springs Sandites and your Union Redhawks. And Casey, probably to the start of this second half, TK Pitts, for the first time this season that we've seen at home, is going to be on the bench, and she's got 3 fouls. So different kind of setup for Coach Redmond early on.
Yeah, you know, for the most part, I feel like that would be.
We're waiting on the time to get reset here. And it is. So anyway, little different look for Coach Redmond.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be a little bit of an advantage for Union, because you know you take the best player off your team, and you know you got to adjust. So you know that should be, in Sand Springs' eyes, a win for them.
Now quickly, Sand Springs gets 2, and they'll cut the lead, or Union's lead 2, I should say. As Penny gets it to Smith. Smith stops, pops, can't get it to go. And there's a foul. We charged to Jemiah Woodard early on. Woodard's first of the game and first team foul of the half, as we're just underway here. Now Wilson will set it up for Coach Berry. And Mackenzie Malum's going to be, Mackenzie Malum will get charged with a foul. Now Armstead will get it. At the free throw line, she'll back it off.
This is more of a little bit of a low scoring affair than we typically see from these ladies.
Well, and I think both of them are very well schooled in the defensive side of the ball, and there's a big rebound by Woodard. She'll give it to Malum. So I think both teams are getting frustrated because, again, we talked about it earlier. They look the same on paper, and they sure seem like they're playing that same sticky defense. They're equal in size. Turnaround jumper, no bucket. But Aisha will get fouled. Armstead's third. So just like that, Armstead's got 3.
As long as she's in there, in my opinion, you go right at her. You try to get her that 4th foul to where she's sitting until pretty much the 4th quarter.
So now Malum, guarded nicely there by Morris. Sticky defense again by the Sandites. Malum will drive, dish off the glass, can't get it to go, but Highshaw follows her own bucket. And there you go, just like that. Armstead gets charged with her 4th foul, and Coach Berry's going to go to the bench and bring in LaShia Morris.
Yeah,
will be checking in.
She's arguing that one, and I kind of tend to agree with her, because in my head, I thought she was being smart by kind of hanging back so she wouldn't get a foul called on her. Honestly, I thought that was on Kirkendall. So, you know, I kind of tend to agree with her right there. I don't think that foul was on her.
Regardless, Armstead will have a seat, and Morris will check in for Coach Berry. And we're hitting free throws. That's a good sign as well, as Wilson will bring it down. She'll give it to Jackson. Jackson will swing it far side to Morris. Morris will look, can't get it to go. Woodard, nice hands there. She's got Malum to her left, but she'll slow it down and wait on some help. Good job by the freshman to slow the pace.
Very much a smart play there by her, because you know it's really easy for you to just drive in 1-on-3, but she did the right thing. She peeled back, rotated back around, and slowed it down. So I think that was a very smart play there by her.
Woodard to Smith, to Malum, back far side to Marshall Penny. She'll get it back into Smith. Smith will go to work, can't get it to go. Ball's bobbled around there, and Wilson comes away with it. Wilson will go 1-on-3, and she does the right thing, backs it up, gives to Jackson. Jackson drives. Kirkendall with a big rebound and 1. Sydney playing good sticky defense there. Went straight up, something like that. once she gets her feet moving, it's hard to get set and go straight back up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's it's a lot easier said than done.
Can't get it to go, and Highshaw will come away with a rebound. So didn't cost us 3 points down the floor. Malum will bring it down and set it up. Marshall Penny will get it up high, streaks inside through the arms of Highshaw. I think that was going to be last touched. It was last touched by Union, they're saying. So Sand Springs will get the ball, and Highshaw needs to get some sticky on her fingers. That's about the third one that's kind of gone through.
It's a little bit sloppy on the offensive side here so far by Union. And honestly, you could probably say that for both teams right now.
But let's give credit where credit is due. I agree with you, but defense has been pretty darn good.
No, both teams are playing very much in your face and not allowing for much space in between the lanes.
Wilson will get the bucket, and Wilson's got 3 on the evening. She'll guard Malum closely there. Now off the screen, inside to Smith. Smith turnaround jumper off glass, can't get it to go. It was a good look for her. She just couldn't get it to fall like she did in the first half. Now Sand Springs up ahead for 3. Morris for 3. And just like that, the lead is 3 for Sand Springs. Now Malum tries to answer for 3, and she does. And we're knotted at 22. Coach Redmond takes the timeout, and so will we. 3:52 remaining. We're back with Union basketball right here on the Union Sports Network. Back live, 3:52 remaining here in the third. We're knotted at 22. Something you noticed off that Mackenzie Malum 3, her facial expression kind of told the story of how she's been playing tonight.
Yeah, she's playing with a little bit of, I would say, attitude. She typically when she makes a 3, her and TK are kind of high-fiving, laughing, smiling. Tonight she's been all business.
So Sand Springs will go to work. Another 3 ball. And Wilson is money from the corner over there. Disrespecting McKenzie's corner.
Better be careful.
So Wilson now has 6. And there's a foul off the ball on Jackson. That's her team. That's her first and only the team's third. Both team fouls are at 3 for Union and Sand Springs. Now Malum will come this side. Look, Highshaw back to Malum. Up high to Smith. Now Smith drives the lane. Little hook shot, can't get it to go. Highshaw in there for the rebound. Smith comes away with it as she continues to battle hard in a jump ball. Coach Redmond applauding his approval of that.
No, I applaud it as well, and Sakari Wilson, she's tough, she's a fighter, but she got in a spot right there where you don't want to be, and she was hanging on to the ball while Sydney was kind of
tossing her around.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Now Pitts checks back in. Woodard has a seat. And we're back to the original starting 5 for Coach Redmond. Highshaw get it up high to Smith.
You would like
Smith
to see
now.
her go up with that. She had what she needed right there. She just needed to, set that elbow and turn around, and she had nothing but wide open.
Morris will get charged with a foul there, and quickly Sand Springs has got 4 fouls on the team. Now Malin will get it in. Up high to Pitts. Pitts was held there a little bit by Morris.
Yeah, that's something I told you earlier. They've been doing that all night.
Yep. And Wilson will get charged with a foul, and now Wilson's got 3. And again, we talked about it. You wanted us to go right after Armstead when she had 3. Same philosophy here.
Oh, yeah.
So inbounds to Pitts. Pitts to Smith. Back to Pitts.
Yeah, both Wilson and Pitts have 3 fouls, so both Union and Sand Springs. That would be me if I was the head coach. I'm telling my team, hey, ladies, she's got 3 fouls. Do what you got to do on both offense and defense, but go at her.
Smith with a drive off the side of the basket, and ahead is Jackson. Jackson will slow it down. She'll set it up for Morris. Morris will survey the floor. She'll try to get it inside. She does. Back to Jackson. Jackson drives. Push, 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 and 1. And the 1. High shot with a good defense there, but body on body.
Yeah, but, I get what you're saying. Honestly, I really liked the defense right there. She kept her feet moving in a good lateral direction. She wasn't going into the offensive player, and she kept her hands more in a neutral spot, not swatting at the ball. Honestly, I think that was really good defense.
Smith comes away with a board there. If the one thing we can say, thankfully for Union, is Sand Springs has not shot the ball very well from the charity stripe tonight, because they've had plenty of opportunities. Ball's going to be tipped out. Last touch by Sand Springs, so Union will get the ball out of bounds.
The fan in me's trying really hard not to yell at the refs and tell them to watch those hands, because they've been holding left and right on this.
They like doing it underneath. Inside to Smith. Smith will go to work on Kirkendall. Turnaround jumper, gets it to go.
Nice move, nice move.
And Smith has got 8. Leads all scorers on the floor. And yes, TK Pitts is back on the floor, but she sat early with 3 fouls, and she's only got 3 points. They've been relying on Smith quite a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to get TK going, though.
And there's, with the hands like that, TK tips it out of bounds. Wilson tried to go around her, and Pitts said, go ahead. I'm gonna knock it out of your hands, kid.
There's a good sign that you can tell that the ladies are a little bit frustrated tonight. TK's typically not the one that kind of jaws at defenders, so she's jawing at a defender. She's kind of letting them know, like, hey, I'm still here.
Still here, that's
Don't
right.
worry.
Well, we are still here as well, as I can't get the words out. Yeah, I know, I was trying to get off of that. There's a timeout on the floor, and it looks like I need a timeout as well. We're back with Union basketball right here on the Union Sports Network. As members of the Renegade Regiment, welcome you back in here to the John Q. Hammonds Arena. 1:16 remaining here in the third. And yeah, that's the drum line.
Now, there's a really good crowd in here tonight.
This is a good crowd, knowing that it's distance learning for Union students tomorrow with the impending snowstorm coming in.
Maybe one
I
of
think people wanting to get out before it hits.
maybe one of the Malins can help me out later, but I wonder how hard it is for McKenzie to not to do a header there in that situation. I think that's what it's called.
It's a header. Yeah, I think you're right. What little I know of soccer.
No.
Need to get her big sis on the phone here. She signed a professional contract to play soccer in Louisville, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
so congratulations.
That's big time, but she probably has better things to do than sit here and talk to us.
You think? Now Wilson will control it. Coming up on just under 30 seconds to play, and it looks like Coach Berry's going to want the last shot here as they're up by 3. Coach Redmond surveying the floor. Patiently waiting, just like Wilson is patiently waiting. Now Marshall Penny goes after. She'll kick it back out. 8-5 coming up. Here she goes. Wilson shoots the long three, can't get it to go. Rebound, that throws it up at the buzzer, and he wasn't going to count. Nice hustle there by Morris. So 27-24, the Sandites are on top. This broadcast brought to you by Andy B's, inviting you to Bowl Social. We'll be back fourth quarter after this. Back live here on the Union Sports Network. Just underway in the fourth quarter, 27-24. And two teams that are pretty identical right now. Casey, one punches one in the mouth, the other one takes it and punches them right back.
Yeah, you know, if it's a
And just like that, Pitts comes away with it. She'll push the floor, but she'll slow it down and set it up.
Yeah, you can only keep TK sidelined for too long before she's eventually going to make her presence known one way or another.
She is running all over the place right now. She gets free. Now she's going to go to work. Smith trying to set up the screen. And Smith is going to get charged with a foul. And Smith is going to Smith is trying to argue the point, but she's not going to win that argument.
No, I mean, I like what she's trying to argue, though, because she was trying to sell a roll to where it was a pick and roll situation, but she was kind of being more in the way
Then rolling off of it. Got it. So you have to clear that player as you roll through it as opposed to trying to run that player over.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you know, I like what she was doing. I mean, it's a smart play. It's no different than when you're coming down, you know, coming past half court and you're just running really slow and allowing the point guard, whether it's McKenzie or TK, to run their defender into you. You're not trying to set a screen. You're just getting in the way.
Kirkendall get charged with her second foul, team 6 foul. Malum will set it up here. Malum to Pitts. Pitts is going to go to work. Baseline drive. Off glass. Can't get it to go. Kirkendall with a rebound. Pitts quickly back up the floor, giving chase. Long three ball, all air, but nice rebound, and you got to clear that out. You got to know who's behind you, and Highshaw missed it.
Yeah, that was honestly a horrible shot there from Sand Springs, but they got lucky that Aubrey just completely missed her
Morris
person
behind her,
that
yeah.
she couldn't. You box that out and you get that rebound where she didn't even put a body on a body.
Well, it should have been right in her hands, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now Marshall Penny directing Highshaw. Highshaw to Malum. Malum's looking for Pitts inside. She gets it up high to Smith. Smith will take the three. And that doesn't go. And I think you and I would have been a little surprised if that went. Nothing against Sydney. Sydney doesn't shoot threes.
No,
But it's a good look.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen her shoot a three, so. Not saying she can't shoot them. We just don't see it very often.
Now Wilson goes to work. Kirkendall, quick jumper, can't get it to go, and Malum will come away with it. Up ahead to Pitts. Pitts wants it in the fast break. She does. Drives and can't get it to go, and she'll shoot two, much to the chagrin of the Sand Springs Sandite fans behind us. Jackson will get charged with a foul, and that's her second, team 7th. That's the kind of contact that Pitts draws, though.
No, it is, and you know, there was a little bit on her end as well. So,
Right.
you know, but hey, if your opponent's going to get away with it, you might as well try it as well.
She'll make the first of 2. And makes 2 of 2.
You know, they're only down 5, so there's plenty of game left. They don't need to rush anything. I think they do need to kind of go back to what they do best, and that's moving the ball, really trying to isolate some of those lanes and take care of what they need to do down low.
Well, let's face it, too. Wilson's only got 6 points, but she has done everything for Coach Berry tonight. She's handled the ball well. She shot some timely threes, and she's been, with respect, a pest to what Union's trying to play defensively.
No, she has very much been.
Ooh, Smith with the quick hands almost got the steal out of that. And a double dribble.
There you go.
Double dribble will get charged to Wilson.
Beautiful defense there by Sydney.
Yeah. Armstead will check back in. Morris will have a seat. They may be upset about that, but I think what he saw is when Sydney tipped that ball, she touched it with 2 hands to get control of it, and that's what a double dribble is right there. Pitts in and out. She'll battle for the rebound on the floor, and that's going to be a jump ball, I believe. Jump ball, possession arrow goes that way. Possession arrow goes the other way. Well, I thought the possession arrow went the other way. I'm looking over at the scorer's table for some clarification, but not too sure what the call was.
Some of the fans behind us were saying he called out of bounds.
Okay. And maybe with her laying where she was in possession of the ball, that's a possibility. Again, much better angle from his vantage point than ours. Now Armstead will take control here. Ooh. Malum trips a little bit, comes up a little twingy too.
That's what they call breaking ankles.
Armstead did it there.
So, you know, this is something we haven't really got to talk about because haven't really had a chance to, but about a week or 2 ago, Miss TK Pitts tweeted out that high school basketball needed a shot clock.
Yep, that's true. And you talk about a timely time to bring it up for sure right now.
Well, that's because this is all they're doing. They're just trying to ride out the clock right now. So,
but at 3:30, that's a lot of basketball left, and Malum will finally take the foul.
Yeah, I don't blame her there. I mean, she's kind of left out on the island, getting run around with no support. So, you got to kind of get that clock stopped.
But at some point, do you want Malum to come out and get help and leave somebody open for an easy 2 or 3 points?
I mean, Sand Springs did the smart thing. You know, it kind of had that old 1-4 formation to where you had 4 players on the baseline and it was 1 on top. So she's kind of left there out on an island.
So there's not a lot she can do in that case.
No, because if you bring backside help, that's going to leave someone down low open. So then you have numbers down low. So there's really, outside of fouling them or getting a steal, there's not much you can do there.
So Sand Springs will take the timeout here. We're going to keep it right here because we got some really cool stuff coming up. Swimming regionals is this Saturday, February 5th at the Jinx Aquatic Center. That begins at noon, and then state will be Saturday, February 19th at Edmond. So that's what's happening in the swimming world and the aquatic world. Wrestling girls and boys junior high state is this Friday and Saturday in Oklahoma City. The girls regional is February 14th and 15th at Jay High School, and state is February 25th and 26th in Oklahoma City. The girls are currently ranked 5th in the state, so Coach McAfee is doing everything well with those young ladies. And then boys regional is February 18th and 19th at Stillwater, and state is 25th and 26th in Oklahoma City. Union boys are currently unranked at 6 and 7, but one of the greatest wrestling duels I had seen, I got to call with Coach Dunlap, and we took Jinx out in a spirited affair. And I'd love to tell you that I know all about wrestling. I can just tell you it was a lot of fun to call. And anytime we can beat Jinx, it's always a good thing.
Hey, wrestling is a phenomenal sport. You know, I did it for about 15 years and absolutely loved it. You know, there's a lot of good things that come out of it, but You know, I don't know a lot about the Union Jinx rivalry outside of it's a big one, but I know a lot about rivalries. And when you beat your rival, it doesn't matter what sport it is. It's a fantastic feeling.
In Vian, who was your biggest rival?
Year
in, year out.
You had Gore and Keys. You know, it was anytime Gore or Keys came to town, you
Or
wanted
you
to
went there, right?
or went there. You wanted to do everything in your power to.
Well, that's it. Union Jinx is your Vian Gore, if you will. Now, Armstead pulls it back down, up high, and Coach Berry is happy with playing keep away right now, it appears. Some effort there by Wilson. She'll get away. Armstead tells her to go away. Armstead now dribbles around.
See, I like what TK was doing right there, though, trying to force her inside, not letting her just stay out here and get some free dribbles in.
Highshaw will get charged with a foul when the ball wasn't even in her hands. They'll go to the line and shoot 1 and 1. And Sand Springs got what they wanted out of that.
They did.
One and 1 for Armstead. In and out. So it paid off right now.
Yeah, you don't need a three. You know, play smart.
29-26. 2:16 remaining here. Malum looks inside. Gets it to Pitts. Pitts turnaround off glass, and it's good. And coach is arguing that he wants a foul there as well. And if you're going to call it on one end, I think that's what he's wanting. He's wanting at the other end too. Triple team like that, it's hard to say that nobody touched her.
Yeah, you know, it definitely is hard to say that no one touched her, but, you know, there's so many things that go into it. Just kind of like in football, you can call a foul on every single play. So,
Right.
you know, you kind of look at situations and see what's going on, and you know, you don't want to be that ref that, you know, takes the game into his own hands. So I kind of understand sometimes the no calls.
But at the point you look at somebody with the prowess of a TK Pitts, she knows how to lean into somebody. She knows how to draw that foul as well in those given situations.
TK has, you know, whenever it comes to what we've seen, TK is one of the best when it comes to full body control.
She knows how to do it. Now Sand Springs up ahead. 3-on-3. They'll go right to the hole. Smith will get charged with a foul there as Armstead goes hard. And that's 4 on Sydney. Armstead will go to the line and shoot 2. Something Sand Springs hasn't been very, very good at tonight. And of course, Armstead will prove me wrong. She can make the lead 3 here. In and out, rebound Smith. Now again, you don't need a 3 again, right?
Nope.
Work it just like you did last time. Malum will bring it up. She'll direct traffic. Smith comes out to help her out.
I can almost tell you where the ball's going to go, though.
Right there. Pitts drives, can't get it to go. She gets her own rebound, puts it back up, and it's good! And 1!
Ooh.
And that's what we have seen all year, and it's finally coming out tonight.
See, if I was,
Or in this game, I should say.
No. That's the TK. So one thing that's been going on that I don't know if you can really see is Armstead's been kind of jawing at TK, and TK's been jawing back, and there was a little bit of frustration let out right there by TK.
Well, and TK, because she hasn't played a complete game, she sat with 3 fouls most of the game. Up, can't get it to go. Rebound, Pitts will foul it. Pitts fouls Armstead. And here we go. Smith is talking to John away. Pitts points her to get her away. Wilson's been talking trash all night. Everybody's talking trash right now.
Oh,
And this reminds me of a certain Union Booker T game that we had.
it does. I'm laughing because I understand what it's like to be the smallest person on the court, and sometimes I may or may not have, because of the wrestling background. I didn't back down from too many people, so I see you, Wilson.
So Wilson gets pulled away. I think everybody's going to get to shoot technicals the way it looked. I think they gave matching technicals, not. And Smith will have a seat. I'm not too sure if she fouled out with that, if they charged it on Pitts or they charged it on who. So we'll wait and see. So 2 shots. Armstead will go to the line and shoot 2. Then maybe we won't have any technicals again. And that happened to me and you and I during the Union Booker T game.
Yeah.
When we saw T and he pointed at both players, so.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I don't know the exact rule on it. I don't know if there's like a double technical, where they kind of offset each other.
They offset each other so neither team gets to shoot. That would make sense. Now up ahead, Woodard back to Pitts. So Smith sits. The lead is 1 for Sand Springs. Coach Redmond directing Mackenzie Mallum to go to his side. She'll come to his side into the corner, gets it to Pitts. Pitts on the floor, up, can't get it to go. Rebound, Armstead. 109, 108 remaining. And there's a foul. That'll be charged to Highshaw. Coleman looks like she's going to check in. All the players coming. He doesn't have to have anybody underneath the basket,
Yeah,
does he?
Shooting 2.
They're shooting 2. He doesn't have to. I'm not 100% sure he's got to have anybody underneath the basket. She could have shot at least 1.
Yeah,
But the refs are going to.
I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure either. Meanwhile, Vanessa Coleman checks back in. So on the floor, Woodard, Coleman, Marshall, Penny, Pitts, and Mallum. Armstead to shoot the second. Gets it to go. So the lead is again 3. Now do you need a 3?
No, I mean, you still got a minute left. You just got to be smart.
Inside to Pitts. Pitts hard to the basket. And 1! And Pitts again.
Well, that's one way to get a 3 if she makes this free throw.
And the fans come alive. And Mallum, Pitts, when she stepped on the floor, had 3. She now has 11. Let's make it. Nope. Can't make it 12 there. Armstead comes quickly up ahead. She'll dribble around. And they need to foul. And there it is. Wilson will get charged with a foul. She'll get fouled, I should say. That's going to be on Pitts, and that'll be Pitts's. That should be her 4th. Yes. So that's Pitts's 4th.
That's her 5th.
That is her 5th.
She's gone.
Okay, that is her 5th. Smith has 5 on the bench. Brooke Bettis checks in. So a couple of the freshman starters out here. As Coleman and Bettis are on the floor. Coach Redmond will take a timeout. 41 seconds remaining. Down by 1. But Sand Springs is shooting 2, and we'll be back right after this. back live, 41 seconds remaining. If you were wondering why Coach Redmond got so much time, it's when Sydney Smith was charged with her 5th foul. Our spotter, producer, director, jack of all trades, Andy Irwin, reminded us that he gets 30 seconds to sub. So, Andy, I appreciate the clarification on that. Wilson gets the first. Wilson to make the lead 3. In and out. Can't get it to go. Malum brings it up. Covered nicely there by Wilson. We're coming up on 30 seconds. Now Malum drives, shoots it at, can't get it to go. Rebound Coleman. And the foul will be charged. To Jackson, that's her 4th. Coleman will go to the line and shoot 2. And here's your freshman.
I haven't sweated this much in a while.
Off the front, rebound. Coleman gets 1 of the 2. And Malum comes up and quickly fouls Armstead. Nice job by Coleman, though. Pressure situation, and she's shooting 50% from the free throw line with 25 seconds remaining, Casey.
No, that's a big spot for a freshman to be
Yep.
in, so it's
Armstead again gets the lead to 2. Malum directing some traffic because she is the only senior now on the floor besides Marshall Penny. So her and Marshall Penny are the 2 seniors with a bunch of freshmen out here. And we've got 15 seconds left to go. Coleman now back to Malum. Timeout, Coach Redmond. We've seen Coleman shoot the 3. We know the girl can play. We know what kind of game Malum can have and the kind of shot she has. We also know the kind of range that Marshall Penny has shown. So you've got 3 really good options, not taking anything away from Woodard, not taking anything away from Bettis.
no, but you know, your money bet's going to go on probably McKenzie shooting the 3 here. So they're going to draw something up for her to probably either have some type of where she's rolling through a double screen or she has a double screen set for her. But my money bet is going to be on McKenzie taking this final 3.
Now, is it something because size isn't a factor now with TK sitting and Sydney sitting? There's nothing to get really inside to, so it's not an opportunity to get it inside and then dish it back out to Malum?
I mean, you could definitely go inside. It's just the big thing is McKenzie's so good on the outside that, you know, you want to put the ball in your best player's hands. And right now, you know, maybe if you want to throw something quirky out there, maybe Coleman does shoot the 3, but my money would be on McKenzie.
Woodard gets it in to Coleman for 3. Can't get it to go. And Malum quickly comes up ahead. And there it was. Gave Coleman the opportunity there. Woodard to Coleman. Malum's 4th foul. They're in the double bonus now. So Armstead will shoot 2 and can really put it away here if she gets them both. Misses the first. Fans have an opportunity to be super loud here. And Armstead buries the second. So the lead is 4. Quickly up the floor. Malum stops, shoots the 3. Off glass, can't get it to go. Rebound. And that's the ball game. And Sand Springs will come away with the victory here as 2 teams that were very, very evenly matched. Very, very evenly matched. As we watched the line, I was wondering if anything were going to be said, but the girls of Sand Springs come in here and take Union, the number 3 team on this side of the state, beat them by 4. So that's it for the girls. Sand Springs takes the first one. Game 2 featuring the 7th-ranked Red Hawks and the 14th-ranked Sandites will tip off here about 8:30 or so. We'll be back with that call right here on the Union Sports Network.